SGA just had the game of his life, and the rest of the league should be terrified. That was just an unreal game from Shai. Has to be one of the most efficient 40-point games in playoff history. It came completely within the flow of the game. He wasn't doing anything he shouldn't on the offensive end and was just playing with OKC's best interest in mind. It just so happened to be him going nuclear on the Suns, with no J-Dub there to lighten the offensive burden, and AJ Mitchell having a very inefficient game. It wasn't an awful game for the Suns, despite it still being a double-digit loss. I said coming into this series that if they could even lose a game by single digits, that should be considered a success. And I maintain that, but I also think that tonight was a success for Phoenix, as they kept it within striking distance the whole way through, and LKC never really emptied their bench with any meaningful time left in the game, so the Suns have to take those wins wherever they can find it. I wasn't a huge fan of the officiating tonight. Felt like the Thunder were in the bonus all night long, even though Phoenix did shoot more free throws. Just the pressure of any fouls sending your opponent to the line forces you to play defense in a very different way than what you typically would. I honestly don't think it would have changed the outcome had we seen a more even-handed officiating performance, but it still would have been nice to see it nonetheless. Dillon Brooks had another phenomenal game, and Devin Booker was surprisingly silent. This hasn't been Booker's team so far in the series, which is interesting considering he's been here his whole career and Brooks only just arrived, but it does speak to the new culture being built in Phoenix and how much of a positive presence Dillon Brooks is in whichever locker room he's a part of, because in spite of his reputation among a lot of fans, he is the type of guy that everyone wants to play with and no one wants to play against. This Phoenix team does have promise. It's not at all the same thing considering the difference in draft capital, age of their core, and financial freedom, but Phoenix is somewhat reminiscent of the OKC team we saw in 2023 and 2024 before they finally broke through last year. I don't believe that the Suns are on a similar trajectory, but I also don't think them overperforming relative to expectations is a fluke. Jordan Watt is a great coach, and in just his first year has gone a long way towards instilling a winning culture and identity in Phoenix. So I am interested to see where they end up in a few seasons, once they can kind of recover from the debacle with the failed big three in Booker, Beal, and Durant. Obviously, they do still have the dead money from Bradley Beal's waived deal on their books, which is an issue for them in looking to build their team of the future. But in the long run, this Phoenix team has a great culture being built, and in the Western Conference, it does seem as if they may be able to make some waves in these next few seasons. This is still, without any doubt, a sweep, but the Suns did not lie down and take it. They brought the fight to OKC all series long, even after that blowout loss in Game 1. So I was very glad to see how Phoenix responded. It would have been very easy to just lay down and take the 4 straight losses, but they really did fight. They were in this game pretty much from start to finish, although it was comfortably a double-digit lead for OKC pretty much at all times.